Hello everyone, welcome back to lesson 6, and today we're going to be going over this flowchart that I created when I initially started trading this strategy. And when I was putting it together, I found myself getting into trades that wouldn't work at times. So I created, after journaling, I created this, and although now I know it off by heart and I know exactly what I have to look for, at the beginning I used to use it a lot, and it was very valuable to me because it was an indication of what I had and what I didn't have to do. So let's just go over part 1 here. Okay, so what I first look at when I get into the charts is, has the previous 4-hour candle been swept? If this is no, then I would have to look if there's any SMT, if it's been swept in any other assets, or ES or YM. If that is no, then the conditions are not met and no trade. So we're still waiting for this 4-hour liquidity to be swept. Okay, if it has been swept, then we can start looking for a trade if it's either been swept on NQ or in any of the other assets. But before looking for a trade, we need to find if there's any other important liquidity close, be it a 4-hour fair value gap, be a daily fair value gap, maybe an hour, or sessions liquidity that's been left hanging. The trade is much more powerful after the liquidity has been taken, as you've probably seen in my other lessons when I've explained. So if there's important liquidity close, we need to wait for it to be run by either NQ or any of the other assets forming an SMT before we start looking for a trade. And if there's no other important liquidity around, we can start looking for a trade. Doesn't mean we're going to enter a trade directly, but we need to look. If we're looking for shorts, we need to see that the bullish liquidity that was taken is showcasing downside before we can enter. Okay, and then in my part 2, which is the actual entry criteria, what I do look at is if the previous 15-minute candle has been swept. If it's a no, then we need to wait for that 15-minute candle, then a new 15-minute candle to open. And if it has been swept, we have to take a trade in an IFVG within the first 10 minutes, because I'll explain why. If it's in the last 10 minutes, in the last 5 minutes of the 50-minute candle, and we take an IFVG close to the highs of that candle, there is a really big chance that the new candle would form its wick, take you out of the trade, and then continue playing on. If it hasn't shown displacement within the first 10 minutes of the candle, it's probably not a valid setup, because, as I explained in my first lesson, the open low high close and open high low close. So if a candle is inversing an IFVG close to the highs within the last 5 minutes of the candle, it's most likely to be taking out the highs of the candle that you're currently trading before moving lower. So if all these conditions are met, we enter the trade. And if it's not, we need to wait for the new 15-minute candle to open. If it's showing bearishness, we can enter the trade in another IFVG. We don't need to wait for a resweep of the highs, even though I do like, for the trade, if I'm going to enter full size, I want the sweep of the previous 50-minute candle if I am to enter full size on the trade. If not, I may take half size if I really like it. If not, I will wait. Okay, so thank you. You can also look at my recaps where I explain exactly where I enter the trades and where I do not enter the trades. I'll be posting more recaps so you can get the hang of it. Just join my Discord. I train this real time every day and I can explain and you can see the execution on it. I post plenty of ideas during London sessions and I trade live on New York sessions. So catch you in the next one.